Let me compare these 3 double-walled stainless steel French presses. These are 3 of the top French presses out there for good reason, and I want to get into all the details and do a coffee test. Let's go. We got the Bodum Columbia, the Frieling, and the Espro P7. And what's funny about these is that they do not look like they're appropriate sizes. The Espro actually holds the least at 32 ounces. Then you have the Bodum with 34 ounces. And finally, you have the Frieling that will brew 36 ounces of coffee. Now, I used a Frieling for 7 years. And one of my favorite things about Frieling is that it is truly only stainless steel throughout. And all of this comes apart, so when you need to, you can twist apart the entire base. And then it has 2 sections of stainless steel filtration. And these do get gross, so you often do need to take it apart. And all these pieces are replaceable. Now, because it's all stainless steel, it's the only one that you'll really hear when I push down. It has that steel on steel slide along the edges. But it is a truly beautiful French press that does a fantastic job. Now, after 7 years, we did give up our Frieling. This is a brand new one, and we switched to the Espro P7. Now, I love the coffee that comes from this Espro P7. It is a very smooth experience, and that is because of its double-walled microfiltration. It has these 2 extremely fine microfilters here that go into more of a cup design. They lock into place, and then it has a silicone exterior, which not only prevents any grinds from getting around the sides, but also gives you a much smoother experience when you press down. Now, this has a lot of plastic, minus the silicone and the metal in the middle, and on the top, the rest of this is plastic. So you are steeping your hot water in plastic. But if you don't care about that, and a lot of French presses do have it, this makes an extremely smooth cup of coffee. And it's very nice to push down. Overall, really beautiful. You can also replace all the parts on the inside and keep the exterior, so this can last forever. And then we have the Bodum Columbia. I love the rounded size of this one. It's a really fun design. Love the handle. It also has that beautiful stainless steel interior. This one's new to me. I got it for comparison. I've only used it twice. So unlike these 2, I don't know how these parts will wear down over time, but they're super sturdy. And again, they're all replaceable, and you can take them apart just like you can with the other 2. This has a metal mesh on the inside and a silicone exterior, so it gives that smooth slide and is using metal to filter your coffee grounds. But the rest of this exterior is plastic, and so is the lid. So this definitely has a fair amount of plastic in it as well, though it doesn't have as much plastic as the Espro has in it. The one thing I would point out with the Bodum is that it only has 1 layer of filtration. Both of these have double filtration. We have the microfiltration and the 2 layers of metal filtration on the Frieling. And when I press down, it's a little shaky, not as smooth as the Espro, or as smooth as the Frieling, but the Frieling has that scratching noise. Well, let's make some coffee. Now I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of coffee grounds and 8 ounces of boiling water in each one and let them steep for 4 minutes. Coffee's in, let's get the water. And then I'll put the top on each. Now, normally I would fill these all the way up with water and coffee, and I would stir them first before steeping. One thing to keep in mind is if you are going to stir the grounds in your French press, do it at the beginning so while it steeps, all those grounds have time to slow down and settle. Otherwise, it's really no fun to try to push down on the filter at the top. Let's give it 4 minutes and see how these come out. It's been 4 minutes. Let's press these down. And give them a pour. No spilling, beautiful pour. And the Frieling, it doesn't matter where the top is. With the Bodum, it does have a little arrow where you need to point to pour. Also, perfect pouring experience. And the Espro also has a specific point to pour that you need to twist the lid to. Nice pour, but there is one difference. The Espro clearly keeps a fair amount of coffee in the bottom that I can't pour out easily because I didn't press the filter all the way down to the bottom. So I only got 100 milliliters of coffee out of that one and 200 out of each of these. So I'm gonna pour these out till they get to 100 so I can really compare them based on the same amount of liquid. So that's one difference off the bat. You're not gonna get all of the water out of the Espro. Let's see how they look in comparison. The Espro is also slightly lighter, and I can't tell a color difference between the Bodum and the Frieling. Now I'll give them a smell. I just went back and forth a few times, and I am getting a notably stronger smell from the Frieling than I am from the Bodum or the Espro, which is kind of interesting to me. Let's give them a try. They're all fantastic in their own way, though I would say the Espro has the smoothest taste all around. I think it's just that it's the most filtered. It has a really nice experience. And then the Frieling is the next smoothest. The one thing I really love about the Frieling is that not only is it smooth, but it has some of that sharp brightness to it that the Espro has cut out. And I forgot just how much I miss the fantastic coffee the Frieling can make. And finally, there's the Bodum. It is less smooth and much sharper than either of these. And I think it's mostly because it lacks the double filtration and doesn't have the microfiltration. It just tastes a little more watery and sharp at the same time. I don't even know how that's possible, but that's what I get from the Bodum Columbia. Now, all three of these are top French presses for good reason. Not only are they all beautiful, but because of the double wall insulation, they're gonna keep your coffee hot for a long time, and they all make fantastic brews. That said, there are obvious differences to me. And if I were to rank them, I would put the Bodum at the bottom. While it is a fantastic French press, it's just a little bit sharper and a little less filtered than I'd like. And then I'm very mixed on the coffee experience between the Espro and the Frieling. The Espro is definitely smoother, but I actually really like the sharp brightness of the Frieling. And overall, I would go with the Frieling as number one because it is all stainless steel. It's the only one that doesn't have any plastic in it. So if you are looking for a French press, I really hope this video helps you make a decision.